When you need to make a lot of mortise and tenon joints, you might want to consider a floating tenon joint as shown in issue 88 of Shop Notes magazine. It's a strong joint that's quick to make. You use just one setup on the router table to route an open mortise in each piece, then you make floating tenons to fit the mortises. The mortises are cut on the router table with a straight bit. The fence should be positioned so the bit is perfectly centered on the width of the workpieces. A stop block attached to the fence sets the length of the mortise, and that stack of 1/4-inch plywood spacers makes it easy to cut the mortise in several passes without having to adjust the height of the bit. After making a pass on each end, remove a spacer and cut each mortise a bit deeper. Keep removing spacers until you've routed the full depth of the mortise. When all the mortises have been routed, you can make the floating tenons. To do that, I need to round over the edges and one end of a blank so it will fit the mortise. I use a push block here. And when routing the end, back up the piece with a wide scrap so it rides against the fence. This steadies the piece and prevents chip out. Next, cut the tenon to length. You can round over the newly cut end of the blank to make the next tenon. I make my tenon blanks a touch wider than the depth of the mortise. That way I can trim and sand the tenon perfectly flush after assembly. There are more details about making this joint inside issue 88 of Shop Notes magazine.